spring is like on the Jupiter in Mars. In other words, hold my hand. Hey guys, how have you been? It's been a while, a little more than every Saturday, like I once upon a time said. Frankly, I am just rock climbing a little too much to be making weekly vlogs. Oh, and why am I in a suit? I was shadowing one of our professors from hematology oncology block, which is blood cancer. He was really inspirational in the way he talked about the humanity and presence in every interaction we have with patients and how much that matters. Now, changing subjects completely, you may be thinking, where are you sitting, Tots? I've never seen this room. I know. In the months since I last vlogged, I have moved from a house that's like 3 minutes that way. And I talked about it in like the 9th episode. You can see why I like this house and call it the greenhouse, because there are so many plants and so many windows. I will actually give you a rapid tour of the house. Why not? Let's go. Okay, so this room right now is kind of the study room. I usually sit here. I live with 3 other people. They're all third-year med students and great friends, so I'm very fortunate about that. Here's our kitchen. We actually pretty regularly eat dinner together here, which is very nice and family-esque. And I'll show you the basement. This house is a little smaller than the previous house, but I'm a minimalist, so I don't care. This is kind of the playroom. There's a Wii Switch that one of my housemates got recently, and there's Netflix and Amazon Prime, which I almost never use. Once you have your photo on this wall, your soul is forever trapped. You just joined Coco's dynasty in the afterworld. This is a living room. We have a piano. That's another guitar from one of my other housemates. And I'll take you up to my bedroom. It's the same Japanese slip of paper from the previous bedroom. I have my tiny desk. It's mostly just to place my moisturizers, glycerin, chapstick, another moisturizer. This is as well made my bed ever gets. Humidifier, again, dry skin. Here's my little closet. My to-do list from my previous bedroom, same thing. I usually double square one thing as my most important task and try to do at least that for the day. And here is my vision statement. And I'll be talking about this with you. Before I go down, let me quickly change into something more comfortable. Like that. Wow! Dang! That's actually my secret to time management. You just cut out the unproductive part. So I actually did used to read a lot of productivity books back when, I was young. But the reason I started this vision statement was primarily because of one of my classmates that I knew back in college. She was someone who just made me feel very small, which is a feeling that I am always pursuing. And one thing she told me was that time is not something you find, but something you make. That stuck with me like a riddle that I need to solve. And the vision statement was one of my attempts to do exactly that. So I started writing a vision statement back when I started Peace Corps, so a little more than 4 years ago. And I'd wake up every day and kind of look at it, maybe not read through it. I would read through it maybe once a week just to make sure that I'm still in accordance with what I set out to do. And I'll mention right now that this is not meant for everyone. Like, people have different styles, like no better or worse, just we're different. Like, some people are structured, some people are more fluid, some are more reflective than others, some are more spiritual or religious than others. This is something that works for me, so not necessarily for you or anyone else. So just keep that in mind. So my answer to how I make time is I try to set a vision of why I woke up today, why I exist here. If I can know precisely that end goal, say right here, and I start my day here. Real life is unpredictable. I'm not gonna know who I'm gonna bump into today, what kind of information or opportunities I'm gonna come across. So as long as I know the end point, I'd rather not set a structured schedule to my 24 hours to get there because I can't predict what's going to happen during the day. I'd rather be able to pick and choose whatever opportunities or interactions that I come across throughout the day that aligns me towards the end goal. By having my priorities cleanly lined out, I get to live my day very fluidly, very unpredictably, and most efficiently. So that's kind of the theory behind me having a vision statement, if that makes sense. So let me talk about the specific components that are included in my vision statement. So the top one you can see is clearly the vision. In essence, what do I live for? And I try to answer that by asking more specific questions like, if I had 3 months left on this planet, how would I live it? If I had $1 billion, how would I spend it? After I die, how would I like to be remembered? And these questions are a good starting point for me to start thinking, what is the meaning of my life? Like, what do I want to do while I'm still capable of doing things? And my answer to that is generally, I want to be moved by people, being pushed and being pulled, and I want to be honest with how I feel as I listen to another person's story, to let myself flow through this genuine connection. And my attempt to put that into a concise wording was a kinder and fairer world for my friends. And you can see that I originally wrote more people, but then I scratched it out and changed it to my friends, because I kind of have a definition of friend of being almost anyone I have met and know in life. So I think that's broad enough. I'm not going to pretend to be compassionate towards people I have not met or heard of or have no understanding of their story. Because if I do, I think I'm just projecting someone that I know onto this imaginary being, and that's prone to misunderstandings in my opinion. And this is a good point to mention that I don't intend this to be like a religious text where it's all set in stone. I fully intend to scratch my vision statement every few years and rewrite it. I also will amend it, edit it. However, I need to keep it relevant and honest to where I am at that point in life. Because I'm afraid that if I try to continue using the same vision statement for years and years and years while I'm still pretty young and learning new things, I might fall into the trap of convincing myself of a narrative that's outdated, and I don't want to do that. I just remember I also write in parentheses like, hence a more cooperative world or something like that. I've always, since a child, I always enjoyed seeing people get along with each other, especially like people who had different backgrounds and different perspectives, and coming to realize that, oh, we're more similar than we're different. And that makes me smile for sure. On the other hand, when people are fighting at each other because there's a lack of conversation and debate and curiosity to learn about different perspectives, that makes me frown and sad. So that parentheses is my attempt to, again, kind of be very honest with who I really am. So after that is the mission statement, which is essentially like, how in action, in a broad sense, will you achieve your vision? And for me, leadership is kind of important, but not in the sense of like oh, I'm gonna be like the president of this organization, I'm gonna lead these clubs, and even though they tend to happen, my philosophy is I can't change anyone but myself. So all I can do is try to live as honest as possible, and if others see that and are changed in any way because of that, that's great. That's my sense of leadership, and I do hope to influence more people through my knowledge and skills and networks, because competence is absolutely essential. If I have power without competence or maturity, that'd be terrible. I'd rather not have power in that case. Now, core values, I try to write down words that help me behave in a way that is productive towards pursuing my vision statement and being honest with myself. So all 5 of these, I think, curious, present, active, reflective, open-minded, they're all underlined by the single value of honesty, which I don't write because I don't need to remind myself of that. For example, curiosity, I think, arises from being honest with ourselves and what we don't know. The more I learn, the less I feel like I know, which for me is a good sign. It means that I'm expanding my knowledge base and subsequently increasing my curiosities, so I get to see what I don't know. And being honest about what I can't know, like for example, your perspective or your life story or your motives, behind your actions, like, that makes me curious to learn more. through books or through people or through travel. Presence, we learned in one of our humanities selectives that empathy at its core is being present with another person. The fact of the matter is, like I mentioned, there's no way I can truly understand your pain or your joy or your suffering or your dreams. How can I truly be empathetic for someone I wish to be? I sit down there, I look at you, I listen, and I stay very curious in learning about what you are feeling at this moment. Through that, slowly trust is built. I open up even more on my side. That gives more insight and more trust. Just makes the most of the limited time we have in every interaction we have with others. Active. I have a bad habit of overthinking things. Well, I used to. Now I'm much better, thanks to this vision statement, perhaps. I try not to overthink all the negative consequences of, oh man, what are they going to think about me? Or, oh, what if this fails? Or, oh, is this a stupid idea? Oh, maybe I didn't do enough background research. No, just act. That's what I have to tell myself, because I have the habit of overthinking. For people who don't overthink and tend to underthink, maybe the opposite might be better. Like, don't act so quickly. But for me, I need to tell myself, act, because otherwise I'm just going to stall and procrastinate. So yeah, if I have a good idea, I'm going to trust that I have enough background information and experience that it's probably not a stupid or ridiculous thing to do. Reflective, that's just a tool for being honest. I think it could be very scary for many of us to reflect on our emotions that we felt throughout the day. Like, why did I feel tense at that moment? Or why did I feel scared when I said that? Or why did that person make me feel this way? And these reflections are the entry point into understanding who I am. What am I afraid of? What do I seek? What do I value? So reflection is absolutely essential for me, and I try to ponder as much as possible immediately after I experience some emotion. But if not, I do reflective journaling almost every night. And lastly, open-minded. I actually had an internal debate on whether to use open-minded or self-doubting, because to me those are pretty synonymous. To consider perspectives that are not your own is essentially doubting whether I am right or not. Always being open to the possibility that I might be wrong. My definition of right or just is based on a very, very, very narrow subset of life experiences and time. So that constant kind of self-doubt, self-critique that my perspective is limited, my experience is limited. So I might be totally wrong, I might be completely biased and completely misdirected. That acceptance to me is the source of being able to open-mindedly listen to different perspectives and see it as equal to your own perspective. For me, that's very important for my personal growth, because the fact is, I've only interacted with like several thousand humans on this planet, and there are like 7 billion of them, so obviously I am biased towards a very small subset of perspectives and values that exist in this world. Knowing that lets me be open-minded. And strategies, gosh, I am running out of time. I have to go rock climb. Basically, these are the actionable plans to act out my mission statement and hence pursue my vision statement. So here I kind of categorize it into 6 subsets. The first category is essentially being healthy, like take care of myself, because if I'm not healthy, if I'm not fit, if I'm not happy, like I'm not going to be able to take care of other people. And for me, that is a lot of just sleeping enough, exercising enough, learning enough, reflecting enough. The second category is being present with every person possible. If I haven't made it clear enough, people mean a lot to me. They're the only thing that moves me in life. So I want to value every interaction I have with no rush. If you're ever chatting with me, I am most likely to be not in a rush. But if I am, you should call me out because I'm not being present with you. Number 3 is all about expanding my exposure to different perspectives. I think I scratched out stuff to make it simple. Right now, my goal is to spend about an hour with a stranger. It doesn't have to be with someone who's like otherworldly and completely different, just anyone who I've never met before. And realistically, I think I do not achieve this every week, but maybe every 3 weeks or so, I actually do hit the 1 hour mark. Last month, I just walked up to a person's door who had a huge like Trump 2024 sign in a pretty liberal neighborhood. They seemed very interesting. So I just walked up to their door and was like, knock knock, like, hey, you seem interesting to me. Would you want to chat? And we just chatted for 1 hour. It was pretty amazing. Most humans are rational and well-meaning, and it's just a difference in life experience and exposure, and maybe the fundamental bias that most humans have where we overestimate our understanding of the world. And that's natural. We want to know, we want to think we know what's happening around us. Most people are more similar to each other than is widely believed. It's my stance. I try to listen in person to different perspectives so I can continue to be very stretchy with my mind. And the fourth one is about you guys, right here. I am portraying myself accurately as possible. If you think I'm being dishonest, please let me know, because it is unintentional and I'm probably unaware of it. I'm always open for feedback. Why am I even doing a YouTube vlog? If you're watching this in 2021, practically no one really cares what the heck I'm doing with my life. Maybe there's a possibility, you know, I might end up doing bigger things and more people might watch these things. In that case, you know, that's an opportunity for me to connect with even more people who might have similar visions or feedback for me, and that's good. I want to connect with more people, and if what I'm saying or doing is going to inspire you to do something, you know, that's like the greatest thing I could ever imagine. So that's why I vlog. Not every week now though. And 5 is kind of like number 3, but less about studying people and more about studying reality. Med school is part of it. I want useful knowledge to effectively contribute to people's well-being. And I try to reach out to people who know certain things better than I do, and that's most humans in this world. Everyone knows something better than I do, so everyone's a teacher in that sense. And number 6 is basically just do it. Like right now. Yeah, I'm a med student, but I can still, you know, create jobs in rural Mozambique. And if there are individuals who move me to want to do that, then I'm probably gonna do that. So I've been doing it, and I'm planning to go to Mozambique for a couple of years after next June. And I like my 13th strategy very much. It's something like, if someone asks for your help and you are able to provide it, then provide it. Very simple, no exceptions usually, which again contributes to me being tardy. If someone, you know, needs help carrying something and I got open arms, I'm gonna carry it for you. If someone looks sad and wants someone to talk with and I'm there and have ears, I will sit down and listen. It's founded in my assumption that life is unpredictable. I have no idea what's gonna happen to the world, to me. Might as well make the most of now. And at the very bottom, there's my New Year's resolution. That's a new thing I tried this year just because there was some white space on the bottom of the poster. And winter break is great because it reminds you to get on top of your New Year's resolution. So I'm about a third way through Duolingo Chinese, and you know, I see progress. 晚上好，晚上好，我叫龙海，你叫什么？我也叫龙海，我会说一点中文，我不会说中文，再见。So yeah, I can speak a little now. It's good. I chose that as my New Year's resolution because eventually I do want to go to China and do stuff, and getting to converse with my relatives someday would be cool too. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. This is probably the longest video I've made. I hope it was maybe useful. I don't know. Entertaining? Probably not. Well, thanks for watching anyways. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't. Happy holidays. Hope you enjoyed the break. And I'll see you guys again next time. Take care. Night sesh. Yeah! Oh! Can't see.